Welcome to step number 21 along the Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. On the podcast today, Happy New Year 2025. What does that mean? Do New Year's intentions still work? And what are we doing to set the best possible intentions for the coming year? Now, let's get started on the Practical Path. Welcome to the Practical Path, the podcast for personal and spiritual growth. My name is Bill Sklodowski, and my co-host with me, as always, Vicki Wagoner from upstate, beautiful, gorgeous northern Georgia. How's it going up there, Miss Vicki?
Oh, it's going well. A little cool, but nice. And good morning.
You guys have winter, and we don't really have winter, although here in Gainesville we have a little bit of winter, but not like where we used to live down in Southwest Florida.
Well, the winter here has been actually warm. It's going to be up in the 50s today, which is a little unbelievable.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we had last week just like a very light, you could barely see it, a little bit of snow. And that's been it for the season. It's just been very weird. Usually by this time, we've got oodles of snow. So
oodles of snow.
Oodles of snow.
Oodles of snow. That sounds like a kid's meal, like a Happy Meal. I don't know.
Yeah.
as this podcast comes to you, and your an iPhone or an iPad or a whatever computer near you, as we record this, it is the first of the year. Well, it's actually January the 2nd, the day this podcast drops, as they say in the business. So let me be the first to wish you a happy 2025.
Wow.
I know, right?
I know.
So we'll talk about some New Year's things and see how that goes. But yeah, 2020.
That sounds like a movie,
What's that? Yeah, it's and I've seen that posted on places like Twitter, X, and Facebook. People have posted those, like the old sci-fi movie posters from the 60s and the 70s. And, they all start out with this picture of this utopia with rocket cars and, robots and people, just happy. And under the bottom, it always says, it's the far future. It's 2025. And people are, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're still kind of, still doing our thing. Come on. I was expecting the Jetsons by now. I was expecting rocket cars and condos in the sky. Come on, man. I'm looking at you, scientists. You're letting us down.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's funny. But anyway, so here we are in the future, 2025. How do you feel?
It's a little surreal.
It really is.
Those numbers are so big, and it's like you say, it should be a Jetson thing, where we're flying around in our little, air machines and stuff. I don't know. It's just weird, to think that we're in the 2000s,
I don't know I don't know if the world is getting smarter or not. I know that there are people out there, very, very smart people, doing amazing, amazing things. I mean, I'm looking at you, Elon. Let's, when are we going to Mars? But at the same time, you see that, and then you see like where the rest of us are at.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is on one hand, you can look and go, oh my God, people like Elon Musk, electric cars and robots and going to Mars and all of that stuff. And then you see the footage, the video of places like downtown LA or San Francisco, where thousands of people are still living on the street. And you're like, this doesn't compute. How does this work? What the hell is going on? I don't know. I'm on a rant, and we're only 2 minutes into the show, and I'm already ranting.
Okay. It's all right. It is. It's a weird phenomenon, because you've got all these advances. I mean, here we are talking to each other over this machine.
Right.
30 years ago, would you ever thought of that? 20 years ago? I mean,
somebody was.
Somebody was. So, and then, like you say, and then there's, people on the streets, and it's very bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
There's a guy I should. There's an author and a speaker and a thought leader in our personal development and spiritual growth space
Okay.
by the name of Doc. I don't know if he's a doctor or not. By the name of Greg Braden. Greg Braden.
Hmm.
He's written a lot of books, and I've read most of them. They're awesome. And I've heard him say in the past that we're not lacking the technology to do any of this. We could build that world that's on those sci-fi movie posters. We could build that world today. He says what's
Mm.
lacking is not the knowledge, it's not the technology, it's not the imagination, it's the willpower.
Oh,
It's yes,
and the
it's the
desire, I guess.
desire of some people
Yeah.
to want to keep things the way they are
Yeah.
for whatever crazy reason. And maybe they're making money off of it, maybe they're I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason.
There's always a reason, and I, this is a weird way to start a new show for the new year. I don't I
I
don't know.
know. That's what I was thinking.
I guess I'm saying it's 2025. I hope and I pray and I set the intention that we all do better. How's that?
Yes, I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
So I know I not to put you on the spot. I think 20
Okay.
years ago I made the New Year's resolution that I would make no more New Year's resolutions, and I'm happy to say I've stuck with it. Do you still make any kind of resolution? Do you ever enter the new year thinking I'm gonna? No, she's shaking her head already.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wait and see what's going to happen and just trust that whatever's supposed to happen will happen. So I kind of a free float or whatever happens, I kind of go with it, and make the best of it. And, you know, I like surprises. I like, going, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm not a big planner. Now, my husband, Rick, is a planner.
Right?
If we do anything, he has everything laid out, you know, every little detail. Me, I'm like, okay, I'm packing my stuff. When do we go? That's me.
Right? Right?
I don't care where we go, what we're doing. Let's just go.
Let's just go. Let's just go somewhere. I hear you, and you're right. I mean, I guess that's is that an opposites attract? I guess it probably is in that
Oh,
matter because if you
yeah.
were both if you were both planners, if you were both like down to the nitty gritty, you'd probably be at each other's throats trying to make your plans, his plans, your plan, whatever.
Okay,
And if
so
you were both free floating, easy going, you wouldn't go anywhere. You'd just
he
you'd
is
probably
he
just
is so focused. He was a banker
right,
for many, many years.
right,
And then he
right.
became a social worker, which still surprises me. But anyway, every morning he gets his tablet out, a paper tablet I'm talking about, and looks at all the figures, all the money, everything that's going on, and then has breakfast. And it's like me, where's the freaking coffee? Let's go.
Well, like here, and here's mine. There you go. So, like you said, he was a bank manager for years and years and
Yeah,
years.
many years. Yeah.
I knew him then. I mean, whatever. So, yes, I get it. So, I think that sort of thing once, and I'm talking to a friend of mine, um, a lady a friend of mine in Southwest Florida, and she's on the cusp of retirement.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, so she's like right there, still has her business that she works from home and all of that stuff, which she's done for 20 years. That's not new. But she's also coming to the point of like you said, like your husband, where can see the money, can see what's coming in from the retirement income sources and the stock market and the whole blah 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 real
Oh, yeah.
estate and all that. And I will talk to her occasionally and I will say, all right, it's coming up on the new year, or now it is the new year, but in the past, tell me again how long you plan on working this job you don't like. Tell me again how, it's like, but yeah, there's that. I guess that's why New Year's resolutions, kind of to go back to that thought, they're nice, but they're it's a big, bold step that you do all at once. Okay, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to go out and jog every day or go to the gym every day. Well, you can only do what you can do today.
Okay.
Not sure where I'm going with all this, but I think the point is, you can do plans and you can set things up and you can have intentions, but then, like you said, so this is the two parts of it. It's kind of like, what are we going to do today about that? How is that going to work today for me? So
Yeah. Hmm.
don't know.
Well, that was good. So, going back to we are total opposites, yet somehow we match. I put more fun in his life. He puts a little bit more structure in my life.
Oh,
Very
sure.
little because I'm not a structured person, but I'm trying. So somehow it just blends. And
Right.
we've been together for over 45 years. So and that's after for me a couple marriages and for him a marriage. So I
Right.
think we're doing something right. It just seems to work. And we have a
Sure.
lot of fun. And now that he's retired and all the pressures are off, he's a lot more fun. He's a lot more relaxed because he's very type A personality. I
Right.
don't think there's a letter for me anywhere in the universe.
You're a Z. You're already all the way at the end. You're a Z. Yeah, what I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I hear you. I get it. There's no letter for it. So yes, and so I think to some extent that opposites attract thing, I think it kind of does work with couples sometimes. I mean,
Works great for us.
not right, because not everybody has all the pieces. I don't know that anybody does have all the pieces that they need to do everything all the time for themselves or get everything, whatever. I know I certainly don't. I mean, but and yet, mm, I don't. I'm not currently in a relationship. I'm not married. I'm not whatever. But I still think that I get a lot of my the things that I need, the pieces that I don't have. I think I get them from other, like from friends. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe like from you,
Thank you.
or I read a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, so I'll find ideas in books and things, and I'll go, oh, I should try and do that. I like that, or whatever.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think it takes another person. At least I'm choosing to believe that because that's where I'm at in life. Maybe I'm kidding myself. I don't know. But I think you can get those things, those other pieces you need from other sources, not just from someone in a one-to-one relationship kind of a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Oh,
wrong.
well, I mean, look at here we are on computer, on
Right.
the computer, and how much is on the computer? There's, books, there's just, randomly meeting up with people and somebody will say something, you're like, oh, okay, wow, that works, and it's just everywhere. You just leave yourself open to receive it. And if it feels good, do it. If not, go thanks and keep on going. So
Right.
I think
I'm
it's
choosing
everywhere.
to believe that. Yeah, I'm choosing to believe that now. Yes. Because that's the way I'm living right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're doing well. We're both doing well in what we got, and
No
it's
problem.
okay.
No
Something comes
problem.
up,
Yeah.
go for it. If it feels good, do
I'm
it.
good with all that.
Yeah. And if not, well, thanks and goodbye.
Keep going. Yeah. Keep looking. Keep
Keep
looking.
looking, keep going.
Right.
Have fun
Right.
while you're doing it. That's the most important thing, is make
I
sure it's
think
fun.
I think that's yes. I think that's so important. And I also think that it's when you say have fun or do something that makes you happy or whatever, that for a lot of people there's that reaction that it's like, well, I can't, that's not responsible, that's not what adults do, that's not what, and it's like, yeah, okay, find a better word, but it kind of is.
I don't like the A word. It's called adult. Ooh.
Right, yeah, no, I hate that. Yeah.
Who wants to be an adult? That's too much work.
It is too much work. It is. It is. Somebody had that. That's another. I guess I live my life through these. They call them. It's a meme. MEME.
Oh,
And meme. It's it's
mhm.
it's a picture or a funny saying or a funny picture, and then somebody puts a caption to it that speaks to some bigger issue or so. Whatever. I don't know. We'd call
Yep.
them cartoons in the old days. Nowadays, it's a
Yes,
meme.
it's a meme.
Somebody posted that meme thing that said, it said adulting, colon, 1 star, would not recommend. Kind of like a review, like a restaurant review for
Yeah,
adulting. But yes,
I love it.
even the most serious, I'm not going to say people, well, yeah, serious people, whatever. You can still find things that you enjoy that bring you happiness that you can, okay, if you don't want to call it fun, I get it. Maybe that doesn't work for your personality. I'm too serious for fun. All right, well, find something that you enjoy that brings you happiness, that whatever.
Yeah.
Just do some of that and see if it doesn't improve your life. There's a good New Year's resolution right there. Find some more fun in life.
Yes, definitely. That's what I
Ah,
like to do. I try
as
them
long
my
as we're
best
not right.
every day to do something fun that makes me happy. I mean,
Right.
there's so much that we have to be responsible for. Take time to be happy. Take time to be a kid. And I know I've said it, probably 500 times, but, when I get together with my granddaughters, it's like, okay, the three of us, which is the youngest, they point their finger at me, roll their eyes, and walk away.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
okay.
thank
And that's
you.
okay. Yeah. I accept. I accept. Yeah. It's just your attitude about life.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just, and again, interesting. Now that I bring back Greg Braden again, he wrote in one of his books, it comes down to the basic belief of, do you think the universe is on your side, working in your behalf, or working against you?
Good point.
And right,
Yep.
I choose to think, and again, I'm going to go into this new year thinking, all right, universe, we're working on this together. What do you got? What can we do? How can we, and maybe I do have some goals. Maybe I do have some ideas about, sure like to focus on my health and my wealth and my abundance and all the usual stuff. There's nothing new under the sun with that. Just be a little more open to what the universe has to bring you and see what happens. I think that's a good idea. I like that idea.
I do. And that's what a kid does. Kid just wakes up in the morning and goes, okay, well, I'm going to start my day. They're not thinking about bills. They're not thinking about, house payments. They're not thinking about, oh, I got to, do these chores. They're like, okay, what's going to be fun today? Because you can put fun even in those, more serious, adult things that you got to do. So,
Right.
but always take time to play, to chill, to read a book or take a walk or,
Right.
do something, take a bath. I don't care, something that you enjoy and brings you happiness. Because we're
So I was
as a
gonna, yes, because I mean, we still, like it or not, we still are adults with adult responsibilities
yeah,
sometimes. Paying those bills, paying the mortgage, putting
mhm,
food on the table, whatever.
right.
Doesn't mean you can't do it like you, I think that's the key. I think that's the whole thing to it is, yes, I have these responsibilities, but I'm still going to find a way to either put some fun into it while I'm doing it
Right.
or reserve some time for some fun when I'm not doing those other responsible things.
Yeah. And the word
The
that
really,
comes,
I think the best piece is to do this. If you can do two at the same time, that's good. I like
yeah.
that.
And plus, the word that came to me is balance. You got to have balance in your life. It's so easy to get weighed down, and you get so far down that sometimes it's difficult to get yourself up. So, keeping in mind, okay, I've got to do this. What can I do for fun? How can, just even if you take a nap, something that you choose to do versus always feeling that the world is telling you you've got to do this and, you got to be an adult. You've got, you've got to. No, it's your life.
Right.
Make it fun. Do
Right.
what you need to do, but have to be a kid. That's big in my book is you have to be a kid. You have
And
to
have
play.
you had experiences with client? Because I know you've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients over the time. I mean, and some of them have been pretty big, powerful, business leaders and stuff like that. Have you gotten pushback on that, or what kind of reaction do you get from people? I don't know. Say you're dealing with a business owner or a president or like a business president. Do you get pushback on that, and how do you respond to that, or how do you help them get past that? I guess.
Well, sometimes, they go, well, I'm so busy, I got to do this and that. And I'm like, well, what if you just died and nothing happened? It'll still be there. So why don't you take time to play and have fun and still do this? I mean, I'm pretty straightforward, and I usually go for the juggler, when I know that I sense that somebody's giving me a tough time and
Right.
I'll just go for it. So how's it going to help you if you're dead?
Right.
You're running yourself into the ground. Is it going to hurt for you to take, a day and just play? And oh my God, you wake up in the morning and the world's still there. It's like, oh my God,
Right.
you know. But most of the time, people, know that, I'm there for, wanting the best for them and, just want them to have, balance in their life, to as much as you're, working and putting effort into everybody else, you got to do the same thing for yourself. So you've got to love and respect yourself first so
Right.
that you can give it to other people.
Right.
So, But over the years, I've had a few, but most of them are like, how can you help me? And it's like, have a seat. Here we go.
Have a seat. Clock starts now. Yeah. I hear that. And there I had a similar conversation with another friend the other day about not the what if you died thing.
I
But
mean, that
again, I mean that you're right. That's the ultimate,
people
right? I
push
mean,
themselves to that point.
right.
Yeah,
If you work yourself to death, then all the work that you've done up to this point, it stops there. It ends there. Sorry, but you're not going to. So yeah, you have to think. I mean, you don't have to think, but you might choose to think. Okay, if I take better care of myself, in
mhm,
whatever that means or whatever, I can be around longer to help, to make more money, to build more business, to help my family more, to all the things that I want to do. That if I just continue to literally work myself to death, will stop, will end. Right.
good point. Yeah. There has to be that balance. You have
Right.
to. And I know like my brother is very focused on working and working and it's sad because that's all he lives for. And it's, and you go, Bob, there's so much else to do, other
Right.
things that you can see and you can learn and you can enjoy and just taking time to go, I'm just not going to do anything today and be okay with it. You have to like I say, back to you have to have that balance.
And what's his answer to you on that when you try and talk to him about that?
Not much.
If again, some people are just convinced that this is what they have to do, that this
Yeah,
is their, for lack of a better term, this is their assignment in life. This is
yeah,
what God
absolutely.
or the world or
Yeah.
the God of their choosing, that's the popular way to say it now, has
Yeah.
handed them, that it's
Yeah.
like you're just going to be a worker bee for your whole life.
Yeah.
Kind of a
As
narrow-minded way to look at things, but
I feel
interesting.
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's very successful. He's got lots of businesses, yet sadly he doesn't have much of a personality. So, it's not like we're on the best of terms. We've always, kind of, I'm
right,
so this way and he's so that way that
right,
we've never found a middle road in between. So, and I just
right,
go, hey, your choice. What am I going to do? I can't make anybody do anything. Hopefully I can influence them and inspire them. And
right,
I've done that with a lot of people because I have a very dear friend up in New York who was working literally almost to the point of death. And it's like, okay, Bruce, come on, let's look at this. You've got all these beautiful children, you've got this great big beautiful home. Are you enjoying it? And
right,
he looked at me and he goes, I never thought of it that way. And I said, well, here's your crossroad, buddy. Think
right.
about it. So you do. Sometimes you just got to step back and go, whoa, wait a minute. Let me look at the bigger picture here.
Isn't that interesting that and by we I mean people in general. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about me or you in specific, but as a people, as humans, whatever,
Mhm.
we want those nice things,
Oh,
the big
sure.
house, maybe two or three of them, depending on where you're at or whatever, the nice house, the nice car, the nice clothes, eat at the good restaurants, vacation in the best places, kids go to the private schools and all that. And like you said, are you getting happiness out of that? Is that doing something? And like you said, some people are like they don't even think of it that way. It's just like this is what they've been told they should do,
Yep.
and in the way they keep score in life or
Mhm.
yeah, in the way they keep score, like just like a football game, you get more points, you win the game. So you get more houses, you win at life, I guess. I don't know. It's weird that we don't step back and think about those things. It's not weird that we do them. I understand that. In fact, I'm reading
Right.
a book I'll share a little bit about later, but that we have this drive for more and more and more. How you ask a billionaire how much money do you need, and the answer is just more. It's
More.
not. There's no number. There's no whatever. And that's something I've talked about with my friend who's approaching retirement. She's got this much in the bank and this much in the stock market and this much in real estate. And I'm like, tell me the number. How much is enough?
Exactly.
And nobody has an answer for that. Nobody.
Mhm.
On the practical side, nobody has an answer. And she goes, okay, well, how much is it for you? And I'm like, I don't know. You're right. I don't have a number either. It's more than I'm
Right.
getting now, but it's
Right.
not infinite. It's not. I mean, I can see, you know, if I was making, I don't know, pick a number. If I was making 100,000, 200,000, $500,000, I'm just throwing numbers out. I don't know that they have any meaning. But if I was making $200,000 a year, in the old days, kids would say 100,000 is a lot. Not so much anymore.
Not anymore.
$200,000 a year. Is that enough? And I have to stop and I think and I go, yeah. I mean, what else would I spend it on? I have my nice,
Yeah.
comfortable little apartment. I'd buy a nicer car. I've been driving the same car for 6 years or so. I'd buy a nicer car. Okay. I might go on vacation to a nicer place or stay at,
Oh,
or fly first class or something. I
right.
don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there because the bottom line is how much do you need? Or at
Exactly.
what point can you say, all right, this is good. And now I'm going to take some time, be happy and have some fun with things.
Yeah. Yes. Again, going back to, I know I've said it 4 or 5 times, but it's back to the balance.
Right.
What is enough? How much, are you going to, take time to just chill and enjoy it? I think there's so many people that just, I got to build, 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 build. There's no enjoyment.
Right.
They're
Right.
just so focused on, I got to do this versus me. It's like, okay, I'm waking up today. What am I going to do today? What makes me feel good?
And and the interesting thing is too, I mean, you know, if you were to tell, like your brother you mentioned, if you were to tell him that that's what you were doing today, he would go, "What the hell are you doing? What a waste! What are you, you know,
Yeah,
why aren't you doing something productive?" Well, maybe
productive.
a better, something like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't think we're going to answer this thing today. I'm
No,
sure we're not, but
no,
I'm just
I
saying, as we talk about the new year here, as you talk
yeah,
about your intentions or your resolutions or whatever you choose to call them, maybe you want to, give some thought to, I think balance is the good word. I think
mhm,
to me, balance is the thing to aim for a little bit
right.
better in the coming year.
Yeah. And sometimes that balance, will tip one way or the other, yet still keeping that focus. You got to get a positive word that you can wake up to in the morning and go, okay, this is my focus. And then just whatever the day brings, just flow with it. Go, okay. That's how I
Right.
wake up. I go, okay, well, what's today? Let's see what happens. So focused.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe you and I aren't the best people to be giving advice on being
No.
focused, is what I'm saying. I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah. So, but maybe some of our listeners need to hear that. Maybe you need to hear. And if you're here with us and you've been listening to us rant for the last 20 shows or whatever it's been, thank you for hanging in here and thank you for
Yes.
joining us and thank you for maybe getting some new ideas
Mhm.
because that's what it's all about. I mean, the more new ideas I can get into my brain, the better I think, I feel, I believe the more I can like have a bigger, wider perspective. Like we've always talked about on this show, 30,000 foot view. Okay. Rather than being focused on the little tiny
Oh,
minutia, what's
yeah.
the big picture? What's the big picture? And for somebody looking down on their three houses and fancy cars and private schools, the big picture might be let's have some fun. And for somebody who's having not too much fun, is her life for someone whose life is more focused on the fun and not the productive stuff. Maybe that's part of your balance too. I
Yep.
know it is for me. I absolutely know that the balance in the new year for me is going to be more about the productive real world. I don't know if real world is the right word.
Mhm.
Because that implies that the fun part is not real, and it's very real.
Yeah.
But more of the business stuff, more of the whatever kind of a thing to make that money goal and
Yeah.
to allow that to buy me even more fun. Because for me, that's kind of the way it all works. I don't know. Has any of this made any sense to anybody? I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I do too.
So, hey, we're still having fun. That's
Yes,
the best
there you
part.
go. See, why are we doing this show? Because it's fun. That's
Because
all.
it's
That's all it
fun,
is. Yes,
and
it is.
hopefully we'll, influence some people or get, they'll get some feedback or,
Right.
they go, wow, that was good, or they're full of, whatever. Um,
I hear
Never
you.
claim to be 100% or know everything. I'm just sharing
Oh,
what I feel.
that's all
And
right.
it lands where it lands and hopefully inspire people. If not, then I still had fun.
Right. Right.
And
And I
that's
do give credit to people who have that moment of realization that it's like maybe I should think more about the
Mhm.
big picture, the balance, the whatever. So, yeah, those are the folks that are going to have the best life, I think, because you at least you're giving it a little bit of thought. At least you're like, okay, what can I do to bring some, you know, as they say in Star Wars, brought balance to the force kind of a thing. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's so if before we take our break, let's say if somebody wanted for the new year, for example, wanted to
No.
get a better sense of balance for themselves and wanted to perhaps do a little reading session or whatever. Are we calling them readings or sessions or what are we calling them with Vicki Wagner
Well,
appointments? With Vicki?
I do oracle card readings combined with intuitive guidance. So it's a
Right,
little bit of both.
right, right.
And I just trust what comes out and what comes out of my mouth. And I love when people say, "Do you remember when you said this?" And I go, "No, because it was for you. I was just
Right.
in the moment delivering the message. What do you remember?"
Exactly. Exactly. I think and well, first of all, tell people how they can get in touch with you. Should anybody be interested in that? I know before the holiday we were talking about as a gift certificate. Maybe now it's a gift that you give yourself for the new year for a little bit of clarity. If somebody wanted to connect with you for some of that work, how would that work?
Well, they can call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner, 53 at gmail.com.
There you go. There you go. And if you got a shiny new iPhone or an iPad for Christmas, see that?
Yeah.
Head over to YouTube and check out Bill's iPhone tips because I am posting some new videos to that, and I'm going to start doing them on
Ooh.
different places like my Facebook page and all of that. But Bill's
Oh,
iPhone tips at YouTube is the best way to find that. Yeah,
yeah. And Bill is
really is.
excellent at what he's doing because for years, Bill.
Phone would ring. Yeah, I don't want you, I want to keep you as a friend, but I also want to tell you you're not alone. I get the phone call from a lot of old clients sometimes that are like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
What do you
So
need?
anyway, it's all good. I'm happy to help.
Mhm.
I was gonna mention, and I'm gonna mention that you I don't want people to think that what they are getting from you is strictly just a reading of some cards. I mean, you can go to any spiritual, little psychic fair on the street. And we have them here in Gainesville twice a month. We have a psychic fair or something like that, and you can sit with somebody who will use typically a deck of what's called tarot cards to give you like, here's what this means, here's what this means, and I just as a plug for my friend Vicki, I wanted to say that that's not really what she does. That while she does have cards that she uses to kind of prompt the conversation, 90% of what you hear from Vicki will not be about what the card says, but what it means for you, the person sitting across the desk from her, and how your life is affected by this and what maybe you could be thinking about and all of that. Because it's in other words, I guess I would just want to say it's way more than just card reading, than a tarot
Oh,
reading or whatever. So yeah, yeah,
definitely. I feel I've been gifted with the ability to sense things about people and things will just drop in and um, things that have happened in their life. I feel it and I know it and I will bring it up. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but my favorite part of a reading is when somebody cries because that means I'm getting to the heart of what really is going on. Because a lot of people are afraid to share. They're embarrassed. They feel hurt or they feel they're going to be judged. I came from a very abusive background. I have been through everything. My goal is to get you to remember that you're important, get you to remember that you are lovable, you are wonderful, you deserve all the good that comes into your life. So that's what I give out to people is I help them feel safe because I know exactly what they've been through.
Right.
And that's a
And
big difference.
right, big difference between that and regular.
Just
And
throwing the
again,
load up.
I'm not saying one better than the other. I'm not saying
Oh,
this one's great. I'm just saying that the experience, because I've done it, I've obviously been through it more than one time. That the experience with a session with my friend Vicki here is way more than any other kind of experience like that. And so yes, there's a lot of insight into your own life and how it's going, and maybe some ideas about what you might want to think about for.
mm,
Again, here we are in the new year, some new changes, some new ideas, some new things that might serve you better in the coming years. So there you go.
yeah, absolutely. So I feel that's my greatest gift is from where I come from. The greatest gift is that I know what they feel and I can empathize with them and I can inspire them to change their own lives. It's up to them. I can only, offer, what I know and support them and encourage them and, they'll take it from there.
There you
But
go.
I've been very fortunate with wonderful people that I've met. Sometimes I see them again, sometimes I never see them. Yet to me, it just touches my heart that they trusted me to be a part of their life.
Perfect. And on that note, let's take a quick break, go refill your coffee, and we will be right back. Welcome back to The Practical Path. This is step number 21, and it is the first episode of the new year as we record this, and as it is scheduled to come out, it comes out on the 2nd of January. So hopefully, if there was any hangover this morning, it's you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't, you wouldn't have a hangover.
Me?
You might. Okay.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you personally? No, I don't. Well, I don't know.
In the morning?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I
Good
I
idea.
might have a little, Yeah, there's no. I mean, God, you know what? That's how lame I am as a senior citizen single male. There's no alcohol in this house. What's up with that?
There's what? What?
I know. I know.
Let me put in my hearing aid.
I know. There's no alcohol in this house. All right, I'm gonna have
What?
to. I know. It's just where I'm at the moment. That's all it means. It's just where I'm at the moment. So, anyway, this is the first episode of 2025. So we wish you nothing but the best for the coming new year, and hope and trust that it is fabulous for you. We've been talking about that, and I did find a little personal development questionnaire. They had 5 tough questions for the new year. I've whittled it down to 3 because I
Okay.
think some of them were business related, and we're on the clock here anyway. But going into the new year, here's a couple of things to think about as you. I'm not going to say set intentions, but maybe just start to think about what you want for yourself for the new year. And I love this one that is, what is the one truth that I am conveniently avoiding?
Oh,
I know, right?
that's a big
What
one.
is the one thing, what is the one truth that and I'm going to say it this way. I'm going to say that I've been in the past conveniently avoiding that I need to face in 2025. And again, I'm not saying that you need to have an answer for me right now.
Hmm.
Maybe you want to give it some thought. I'll put these in the show notes in case you want to check on them later or
I,
revisit them.
yeah.
The one
That,
truth
yeah. Yeah. And I
is
need a
how,
second
if
cup
you
of
were,
coffee for that.
I'm sorry,
I need a
say that
second
again.
cup of coffee for that one.
I know. So I'll take the
Huh.
pressure off of you and I and say, if you were helping a client with that,
Hmm.
How would you help them to address something if there was something staring you in the face
Right.
or you were picking up on something? Because we talked about that before the break, that that's one of your gifts. If
Yeah.
you were picking up on something that somebody was just totally oblivious to, and yet for the rest of the world, it's like, flashing red light.
Right.
How would you carefully, gently, lovingly introduce that idea to somebody?
I often ask what happened in childhood. Okay, because a lot of our reactions as adults is what happens as something that happened to us as a child.
Right.
And when we're little, we can't understand it. It just something happens. So giving yourself permission to step back and go, okay, well, let me think of something that I've been afraid to do or afraid to look at, because now you're older and you're wiser and you have more understanding, of the bigger picture of things. So I often go back to childhood.
Hmm.
How were you treated? How were you respected? Were you loved? Or were you, like beaten down or ignored? Because it's all about self-worth. How do you perceive yourself? What do you feel about yourself? What do you feel that you deserve?
Right.
Are you smart enough? Are you wise enough? Are you trusting yourself enough?
I'm wondering a little bit more, and I'll bring the second question in on this, which is similar, very related. What's the biggest lie I'm telling myself these days?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think they're both obviously they're two sides. I've been playing with my little silver dollar here for the new year in my hand here to just to rub on it while we talk. I know you can't see that on the camera, folks, but I've got this little silver dollar. It's just a little coin of some sort. It's not even real money, but anyway, it's two sides of the same coin. What's the biggest lie I'm telling myself? What's the one truth I am conveniently avoiding? And
Hmm.
so I understand the childhood thing. I get that, but I mean, can you be a little more specific in terms of? I mean, because you can see, or maybe you don't. Maybe somebody just comes to you and they're stuck on some aspect of life somewhere or whatever, and maybe they want help with it. Maybe they don't even know they want help with it
True.
because they're not. Obviously, they are conveniently avoiding this particular truth. Is that
Hmm.
something? I mean, what's the hard question there? How do you like gently, lovingly start to uncover that little nugget of wisdom for somebody? Because I know you said you can go back to childhood and all that.
Hmm.
Do you, once they start talking about that, is that where you can introduce them to the idea that, hey, have you thought about this one thing and how that might
Yeah.
relate now?
Yeah. Yeah. You start. It's kind of almost like a puzzle. You have one piece here and one piece there, and then you start talking and you start putting the pieces together. All of a sudden, it's like, and again, I've been blessed that people feel safe with me. I mean, I've actually, which has been very difficult, but I actually worked with a pedophile and
Hmm.
he had no access to his child. And with my help and the way he changed, he actually can have visitations now with her.
Wow.
So you have to go back. I truly 110% believe you got to go back to childhood. What happened to you that you felt that you got stuck in this position and you got brainwashed? And a lot of it is brainwashing. You get told
Sure.
something over and over and over again. And you look at these big people and you go, well, they must know everything.
Right.
They're little people inside of them. So stepping back and being, just neutral to realize they're still carrying stuff from childhood that they haven't dealt with. So what do? They project it onto somebody else.
Right.
And so you've got to step back and go, what's been projected on me? What have I just held on to as truth? Yet now as an adult, I can step back and go, is that really true? Is that really me? Let me look at myself from this different perspective. Let me take some of these pieces that I've been holding on to and, carrying around like, a baggage on your back. Let me just lay it out and go, this isn't true. This isn't me. This is some story that I've been, living by for my whole life. And I'm talking about myself because that's what I did for my whole life until I started looking at it and taking it apart. And I'm the first one to say, you're seeing me on a good day. We're all human. We're all going to have our moments. Yet if you take the time to look at the pieces of somebody else's life that they projected onto you because they didn't want to carry it, so give it to somebody else. It takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of tears and tantrums. Yet
Right.
it's worth it for you to look at the truth of other people don't want to hold on to it, so they're going to give it to you. And it
One
comes
of
in
that we were
ways.
talking about, we talk a lot about, like you said, about childhood influences and stuff. And
Mhm.
I've heard, and it's not the first time I've heard this, but it's the fact that even literally up until almost 7 years old, all children are basically living in a, a hypnotic state.
Mhm.
They're open to everything that's coming into them,
Yep.
and to go back, I know you were a hypnotherapist in a previous life.
Yes.
We've talked about this because you've mentioned it many a time that it's like, gee, can you make me cluck like a chicken? Well, if you want to,
Sure.
kind of. I mean, but
But
hypno.
that's it.
Right. Having been through hypnosis, having been through sessions of hypnosis with Vicki Wagoner, um, it's not like that. That's not how it works. But what does happen is that you do feel an openness
Mhm.
to whatever especially to yourself. You feel this is me, and that might not be the experience of everybody, but you feel an openness to yourself. And what I mean by that is stuff that might have been way, way back there in the back of your mind
Yeah.
or buried for years, or I hadn't thought about that in 50 years kind of a thing. That stuff just naturally comes up.
Yeah.
And I think to take it now to the programming that we give to young people, those kids, their brain is not developed to the point where they are making conscious decisions about the world up until like 7 years old. They are literally sponges that suck up everything
Oh,
and
yeah.
start to sort out the world. They start to build that IKEA shelf unit in the back of their mind where this is what love means, this is what the fun means, this is what pain means,
Mhm.
all of that.
Yeah.
And here's the important thing, I believe, that as children, they don't have any control over where the pieces fit.
Yeah.
They're being told where those pieces fit, and they just automatically, in that state of openness, go, okay,
Yeah.
that's what it means. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they arrive, in a session with Vicki Wagoner 50 years later and go, why do I still think this way?
Mhm.
Why does my world still work from the pattern of something I was given when I was 5 years old? Well, that's exactly why. And
Yep.
I'm not trying to say it's not your fault, because you're still responsible for what you do, and you're very responsible for how, now that you are an adult, you use that information. How am I doing here, Coach? I mean, how does it
Hey,
sound for you?
it's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I know programming sounds hard, but basically that's what it is. We're being programmed.
Oh
And
yeah.
until we step back and go, okay, that might have fit for somebody else. Does it really fit for me? Or you have a life experience where you just like all of a sudden you wake up and you go, oh my gosh,
Right.
that's what happened to me. It's like I woke up one morning and I went, I used to put it on to this friend of mine, Helen. I always said, well, this happened to Helen.
Hmm.
What's happening to me, what's happening to Helen, it's not me. And then I was in my 20s and I woke up one day and I went, wait a minute. This this is my story. This is what I've been hiding behind. This is what I've been carrying for, 20 some years. And
Right.
I just realized I said, it's controlling my life.
Right.
It's dictating my life and I don't know who I am.
Hmm.
And that's why I
So
say
again, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so again, taking people back to childhood and going, what happened in childhood that you're still, reenacting now as an adult?
Right.
Until we step out, look at the bigger picture of things and go, wait a minute, this was a story that, just someone put on me because that was put on them. And how many generations does it go back that
Exactly.
one person to go, wait a minute,
Right.
this is their story. What's mine?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And what a great time here, new year, new ideas, new
Yeah,
intentions, new story here. That
absolutely.
I think if anything, it might be a good time to say I can. All right, so just to finish, and this leads me to my next point. The
Okay.
third question, by the way, the tough questions for the new year. We had what is the one truth I am conveniently avoiding, and its corollary. What's the biggest lie I'm telling myself? That's kind of a similar kind of a thing. The other one though is what new skill must I learn to stay relevant in the new year?
Yep.
And for a lot of people, if you're in business or you're whatever, it could be a business thing, it could be a computer thing, it's going to be I'm going to learn how to use my damn iPhone if it kills me, whatever. That's cool. I get it. That's good. You can do that. But we're thinking, because this is our show and we can choose to go whatever direction we want. How about personal skills? How about the
Yeah.
thing that how am I going to react to the world and in a different way, in a new way?
Mhm.
I've told this story on the show before, but I have a good friend, a retired dentist who also does a lot of personal development work. His
Mhm.
favorite his favorite line when he hears somebody kind of going back and forth on something or questioning themselves or whatever, and his favorite line is always, "Maybe you'd like to make a different decision."
Yes.
It's not like, boy, that was stupid, Bill. You think you want to change your mind? Yeah, because now we're putting people on the defensive. All right, maybe you'd like to make a different decision. Not to say the one you made was wrong, but maybe now it's time for a different one. So, what new skill are you going to learn? Are you going to acquire in 2025 to help you stay relevant? And by relevant, I can mean relevant in your business, in your life, in your personal life, in your family, and all of that stuff. So I think you can be open to making a different decision as far as how things go for yourself.
And what I'm going to add is look at it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And when you step back and you look at it and go, okay, what's the bigger picture? What other pieces are out there? I really think that also helps too with your decision of, okay, now what, how am I going to move forward? What do I want to do now?
Right.
And be okay to say, okay, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see what happens.
Right.
And if it, doesn't work, be okay, be open to, all right, well, let me try it this way.
Right.
And I'm the big one here because I know my, mission and the new year is to be a better businesswoman, which is very difficult for me. I'm so out there, it's like, you want me to be practical? You want me to look at facts and figures?
Right.
Computers? Oh my God,
I, I got the computer and the iPhone thing, but mine is more of the consistency in the putting out information about the thing that I do.
right.
Yes, I
Yeah.
teach people how to use iPhones, iPads, computers, and all that. All right, now I need to be, my new skill is the
Yeah.
skill of consistency of putting out information to attract customers, to give people help and information and all that stuff. So, yes, I
Yeah.
get it. So, and when I heard you talking about, the step back, we talk about this a lot. The step back, 30,000 foot view, big picture, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the skill for the new year. What new
Yeah.
skill do I need to learn to stay relevant? Well, maybe that's it. Maybe the skill is the ability to look at a bigger picture.
Mhm.
Just saying, just throwing that out there.
I think it's a good way to be because in every avenue of our life, it's a great way to look at it. If something affects you, go, wait a minute, maybe I need to, I got a reaction from it because maybe I need to look a little deeper into it. How is it trying to get my attention? What is it trying to help me to see? Because sometimes, well, me, I kind of rattle people's brains and, throw a few little curse words in there and everything. And people look at me like, look at that old lady cursing. But what I'm doing is I'm shaking them out of their uncomfortable comfort zone.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like, it's like a wake-up call, you
Right.
know. And I feel sometimes we need that. And it's good because we get so comfortable in just doing the same thing over and over again that, we're walking and looking down at the ground and we're missing, everything that's around us, the same way as, making a change. And I'm, the first one to say, when it comes to computers, I'd rather throw them in the garbage than work with them, but that's just me.
All
But
right.
I think a dear friend. Um, but yeah, it's going, okay, let me step back. Why am I afraid of it? What is my anxiety around it? Am I enough? Am I smart enough? Am I,
Right.
intelligent enough? Do I have the capacity to do this? And we all do. Do we believe it? Do we believe
Right.
enough?
Right. So again, there's another good basic foundational skill that we might, skill might not be the right word, but to go into the new year to think about that sort of a thing in terms of when I am thinking of doing something new, when I am thinking of making a different decision, do I trust myself with it, or do I think, oh, I'm not smart enough for that? I'm not
Exactly.
whatever enough for that. So again, coming back to, somebody in front of you, how
Mhm.
would you coach them on that to say you are? Because you can't just tell somebody that. You got to
Yeah.
kind of give them a way to believe it, a method for themselves to go, oh, yeah, I am.
Well, it's like, okay, so how many times have you tried something new and it's worked? You don't know anything about it, but you say, you know what, I'm going to put my best into it. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to ask for help, you know. So looking at what was it in you that said, you know what, you deserve to have, to have this, to make this change. How much do you love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself, know that you're intelligent, look at what you've been created in your life. So what is the one thing that's holding you back from this thing? And
Right,
being kind with them, but kind of poking them too, to go, hey, you've got more going for you than what you believe. And
right.
I feel that's the biggest is our lack of belief in ourselves that we're
Absolutely.
capable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that applies to almost everything.
Everything, yeah.
I could say everything, but who knows? Um, yes, I see that. I wonder about that with myself sometimes. Like it's like I want to do this thing for my business, and now I've been wanting to do this thing for my business for the past 2 weeks, and this is the truth. I mean, I'm talking. Here we are in the new year, so I'm giving myself some grace and saying, "Oh, new year, time to do the thing."
Mhm.
But yeah, you have to. You don't have to. I'm choosing to because I'm choosing to use the skills and the tools that we talk about on this program every week is looking at it from the bigger view, the bigger picture, the whatever, and say, why the hell do I do that thing? Why? Or in my case, don't do that thing, but you're still, there's a very famous song, a very famous line from a song, and I don't remember who the artist was, so I apologize in advance, but the line is, if you I'm going to blow it. I'm going to get it wrong. If you choose to do nothing, if you choose to do nothing, you still have made a choice,
Exactly.
basically.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that's Rush. So for those of you rock and rollers out there, you'll correct me later. But if you choose to do nothing, you're still making a choice. And I'm choosing to do nothing. I see that. I'm choosing to actually do nothing about this thing that I want to do something about. Well, why
Mhm.
am I making that choice? And when I think about it, yes, I do have those same exact things we've been talking about where I'm like, yeah, nobody's gonna like it. Oh, it's gonna look dumb. I'm gonna look stupid. Oh,
I know. Yep.
okay, well, I get it.
Yep.
I understand. Do it anyway. But
So
yeah,
going back to where does that come from?
where does that come from? And so
Mhm.
Vicky's going to point us back to childhood, of course.
Childhood. Hmm.
Is the So we'll end on this because we're coming down to the end of the hour. Is the knowing that it came from childhood enough, or do I need to know this thing that happened? Or maybe not exactly this specific thing, but how would where do you go with that? Is it just saying, oh, somebody told you something in childhood and now you're still believing it? Well, great. Okay.
But okay, so what you have to do is go. let me look back at being a child when I did something, and it could be, and it's sometimes it's very innocent. An adult's having a bad day and they say something, nasty, like, "Oh, why are you so stupid?" or something like that.
Right.
And as a kid, we take everything literal because we don't know how to filter things out yet. So we just take
Right.
it all. It's like having a basket and they just keep filling it up. And then you have this great big basket and go, well, what do I do with all this?
Right.
And they're big people. They've been around a long time, so they must know what's going on.
Right.
So that's why I keep going back to, you got to look at what have we held on to that, in honor of our parent or a teacher or, an adult of any kind that, they're bigger and they're older than me. So that obviously they knew something about me that I didn't know. And that's the mentality.
So,
That's what a
right.
child would think. So going,
So
wait a
again,
minute.
is it just enough? Well, this is opinion. It's your opinion, my opinion, whatever. Is it just enough to know that it was something I was given in childhood and now that no longer applies? Or again, are you saying, am I asking a more specific question where I need to know, or it would be helpful to know
Right. Well,
February 21st, 1972, somebody told me,
it's the general of, I've got this, like for me, I've got this feeling I can't do computers. Why?
right,
And so it's like a phobia almost.
right,
And so I got to go back and go, well, how many things have you done that you've accomplished, all the people that you've helped, all the things that you've done? Why is a computer stopping you from, doing, being able to, navigate it?
right,
I know how to drive. I know how to work machinery. I know how to, work with
right.
people. I know all these things. I've got to look at what specifically is the computer. What does it represent? Why am I afraid of it? So I got to look at the fear of it and, just do a little bit of digging because I'm still intimidated by it. And you know that after all the years that I've known you, it's like I could take, the phone or the computer and trash it in a heartbeat and take a hammer to it and have fun. That's how much I love them.
That's your fun for the day. There you go.
Fun for the day. But
Yeah.
I have to step back and go, why am I intimidated by it? Why, I'm smart, I've done lots of things in my life. So what is that one thing that I'm holding on to? And talking about it now, I've got to do my own digging.
You said you used one word that's stuck in my brain, and that was, what does it represent? Because
True.
it's not the thing. It's
No,
not
it's not the
it's
thing.
not the specific computer or phone or iPad or car
Right.
or whatever. It's not that thing, but it's what, in the bigger picture of your life, of what you've been told, what does that trigger in you? I hate that word, but I'm going to use it anyway.
Oh,
What
it's
does
a good
that trigger in you to say, oh, this is the line I can't cross?
right.
Right? I mean, is that, you're the expert? Is that right?
I
Does
mean,
that
and
sound
that's
right?
that's what I've got to do because I do, and I'm just being honest, being human, I do have almost a phobia of electronics.
Right. And again, it doesn't, that's Vicky's case specifically. For
Right,
you, it
that's
might
me.
be whatever, talking to people, going to your
Right,
job, dealing with your kids. It might, whatever. We've all got our own thing that we're working on. So
right,
again, I want to come back to that. The what does it represent?
right.
What is this telling me about myself, or what am I allowing this
Yes.
to dictate to me
Hmm.
about the way I can live my life and the way I can. Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that. So
Right. Yeah.
it's a pretty good place. That's a pretty good place to start the new year, I think.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of, I want to do something new or make some change, all the things that people have told themselves for hundreds of years about New Year's resolutions and all that. New Year's resolution means change. I want to do something different.
Right.
If you're feeling a resistance to that, now is the time to do the work that we've been talking about for the past
Yeah.
hour.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And so, and I'm looking back, as we're talking, I was looking back going, I have made so many changes, so many, major shifts in my life. Like, what is it about this one little thing that everybody holds in their hand? I mean, we practically sleep with the darn thing that intimidates me because,
Mm,
I've done a lot.
Hmm.
I've been through a lot, and I've survived a lot.
Right.
And it still perplexes me of why am I intimidated? But I'd be the first one to throw it out the window,
Right.
flap
Well,
and
maybe,
walk away.
maybe in 2025, maybe you'd like to make a different decision.
I'm making a different decision. I'm
We're gonna
making
leave it.
the effort to break
Right.
this open, and I will share it when it happens. I will share it on this.
Right. Right. I think, and so much good stuff there. And now that we've been talking about it, we could talk for another hour. But I know that the hour for the day is done, and it's just like on your psychiatrist's couch. Up, your hour's up. So, all right, everybody, listen. First things first. I hope and I trust you have a wonderful and happy New Year. Same to all our listeners, and same to you, Miss Vicki. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thank you, and to everyone
Yes.
out there, and to you too.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We'll see you again next week. As always, if you have questions or comments, feel free to visit our Facebook page, The Practical Path Podcast, on Facebook, and you can check that out as well. And if somebody would like to speak to you in person about any of the things about anything, really, I mean, we talked about how the work that you do, how would somebody get in touch with you?
They can call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner, 53 @gmail.com.
There you go. And again, like I said, if you got the brand new shiny iPad for Christmas and you want to learn how to use it, go over to YouTube, do a look for the hashtag Bill's iPhone tips. You'll find more information there. So that'll be good. All
That's
right,
my
everybody.
New
What's
Year's
that?
That's my New Year's resolution.
Which is?
You go to your website.
Oh, okay, to my YouTube channel. Good. I appreciate
YouTube
that.
channel, rather.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us here on The Practical Path. My name is Bill Sklodowski. We appreciate you joining us.
And I'm Vicki Wagoner, and have a wonderful new year.